What's up, my crypto legends? In this episode, we are taking a look here at the higher time frames on Bitcoin. Do we still have enough steam to go to higher levels before we get a huge major pullback? We are analyzing the situation here on the total market cap here, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, basically the altcoins. It does look like that we're starting to hit a major resistance zone. Is this the moment that we are going to see an epic altcoin season, or are we topping out also for the altcoins in the next coming days? We're also analyzing Bitcoin on the lower time frame and all of those altcoins that have been mentioned during the last couple of weeks, and the latest one being Acropolis, absolutely exploding, guys. Make sure to stay tuned. Hi there, Andy here. Welcome back to another episode, guys. Before we dive through here the price of Bitcoin, I want to let you know that all of my crypto trading is done on Bybit, also on MEXC. I've been testing out MEXC here for the last few months, absolutely loving it. I've been using Bybit for over 4 years now. Remember, you do have a great bonus down below on Bybit. It's the first link of $30,000 depending on what you deposit. If you can't trade on Bybit because of restrictions, you got MEXC that no KYC is required, and you do get a great bonus, and there's hundreds of altcoins to trade. Now, diving in here through the price of Bitcoin, we've been talking about here the possible move all the way up to $48,000. Now, we have been overextending. The price has been going crazy for the last few weeks. Is it time here to be worried and we're going to top out and get a pretty sharp corrective move? Well, possibly yes, and we'll be analyzing that on the lower time frames. However, there is really not that much resistance at this zone. We are inside of the value area of 21 and 22, meaning that the value area high is all the way up above $48,000. So could we have a little bit of more steam in the coming days to actually hit that level? And this is the zone that we could potentially be worried about if we do get that consolidation. Now, how that level is extremely big resistance based on the 618 Fibonacci from all-time high to the low in November. We know that 618, it is with a value area high, and we also got that disturbing lower high right over here that could end up into a swing failure pattern or failed auction. Now, if the price does reach that level and starts consolidating, creating a macro double top here on higher time frames, that is going to be very worrying, of course. That is the moment that we want to be very cautious, as we could be getting several $1,000s as a pullback, okay, potentially for the beginning of the year. Now, there's not much more that we can talk about on the higher time frame. Of course, what is the strongest support level if we were to get a massive pullback of several $1,000s? Well, we can see it right over here. We do have that point of control of 21 and 22 and the resistance of this ascending channel that should be turning into support if we were to come down there in the next 1 to 2 weeks. That is round about the $38,000 to $40,000 range. That would be a pullback already of $3,000 to $5,000. That would be a pretty decent pullback, and I would be expecting this range to hold nicely as support based off the point of control, the resistance of this channel turning into support as well, and this massive large consolidation that we did have, okay, back here in November. All right, there's big strong resistance that should be turning into support. We'll be analyzing the situation. Now, the moment that we need to be worried is if we do lose that $40,000 range, then obviously we'll be losing major support, and we could have a much deeper correction, possibly to the low $30,000 range. Now, the ultimate support level on higher time frames is the value area low of 21 and 22 that has been proven to be the strongest resistance of the year. As you can see, having that major double top here in the summer of 2023. Now, not much more has to be said on higher time frames. I do expect higher. Of course, we need to be cautious with those pullbacks, but let's analyze the lower time frames here for Bitcoin before we go to the total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, basically most of the altcoins. Now, diving in here on the price of Bitcoin, I'm just going to talk about that if we do break this resistance zone in the next coming hours, couple of days, we are likely going to create a new yearly high. That is an old daily level here that was respected here yesterday, as you can see, as resistance and as support. And if we do break here this lower high resistance trend line, then we are likely going to come all the way up to create new yearly highs. That is also the value area high of this entire trading zone that has been created the last few days. You can see the value area high is slightly above here, the daily, and also the resistance trend line. So if we were to get that explosive move up here, we are likely to flip this as support and create a new yearly high. Now, when do we need to be worried of the price of Bitcoin if we do maintain still beneath this level? Well, if we do start breaking the value area low of this trading zone, we are likely to come back down here to test the low of the range, which is at 48,800. Now, we'll be paying close attention to that range here in the Legends community, of course, to see if we are going to get a reaction. If we start losing this range, that is a pretty obvious level to get a swing failure pattern, and we could have a significant bounce. Those are the biggest levels that I do see here on the higher time frame. Of course, more locally, there are some levels that are building up, of course, every single hour. But overall, this is what I'm looking at. We break the value area high, lower high resistance trend line. We are likely to follow through here and create new yearly highs. If we come down, of course, the value area low could hold significantly as support. We'll be analyzing here the reaction here, as we do have the lower high resistance trend line also in confluence with the value area low. So if we do consolidate at this range, of course, double bottom scenario, then it could be a potential long. If we smash through this level, no longs will be taken, and we'll be analyzing the local low here of this range of the last few days. Not many levels here to talk about looking at the price of Bitcoin, but an interesting chart is the total 3. This is the entire crypto market capitalization, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, basically all of the altcoins. And right now we can see this, and we might believe that this is obviously an accumulation stage where we are just about to break out from the highs of the range. Now, let me just explain to you that the highs of the range is right over here at the $480 billion. It is basically the last lower high from this major drop, okay? Now, we can see right over here how this range is crucial. We want to pay close attention here because I think it is a little bit too early to get into that massive bull run, and we are likely going to top out on Bitcoin and some altcoins in the short term, bringing us a little bit of a downtrend in the next coming months, giving us the second opportunity to accumulate for then the massive bull run in late 2024, early 2025. Now, looking at this stage, okay, this could be that moment where we're just testing the highs over here. It's going to be crucial, guys, because if the total crypto market cap does manage to break above the $480 billion in the next coming weeks, I'm going to say that the run here to the upside will be insane, and hundreds of billions of dollars will be pouring into crypto. However, this is a very technical level. We want to be very cautious because I personally think that it's still too early to get that huge, massive crypto bull run, and hundreds of billions of dollars are going to pour in. I think it's a little bit too early. We have the halving in April. We also have the ETFs not approved yet. Now, we want to be extremely cautious here because usually looking at the cycles, this is still too early. When we do take a look at the previous cycle, you can see here these massive run-ups from this accumulation zone, okay, did get rejected several times. So when you do take a look at the major drop here, we've had a massive multi-month accumulation, 2018, 2019. Every time we came up here to the last lower high here from the major drop continuation, we came straight back down. We have a run up here, also coming down. And I personally think this is still very early and we could see some significant pullbacks. Now, I just want people to stay safe. This is usually early stages, and it could be one of the first hypes before we get a major crash, and then that will be the big major opportunity in the next 6 months, okay? As we are crashing down, if this were to be the case, it's going to be just a great opportunity. As we are getting to the highs of this accumulation zone, we need to be extremely cautious, of course. If we do solidly close a daily candle above 480, then of course I'm going to say this does look pretty good for continuation to the upside for the next coming months. However, we want to be extremely cautious. This for me could be a topping point, and we could get into a big major corrective move in the next coming months till the halving, and of course after the halving start picking up very, very nicely, and then finally entering that huge massive bull run in late 24, early 25. Just something to be aware, guys. Everybody is getting very excited. We are overextended, and we just need to be cautious. We've been making huge gains. Make sure to lock those profits. Have some cash on the sidelines, because we might get a great second opportunity to accumulate a lot of altcoins in the next coming months, as I do believe it is still very early, as the halving is still months away. I want to dive in through the altcoins, guys, that have been mentioned. We've been talking about Cadena here several days ago, also taking a look here at HBAR, all exploding from our major pattern, symmetrical triangle, double bottom scenarios, making absolutely killing profits. HBAR also, since our entry point here at 6.1 cents, mentioned on a video on the 24th of November, guys. This was over 2 weeks ago, and the latest one being Acropolis on the video on the 6th of December, talking about the entry point at 0058, and it's currently trading at 0065 with a pump of over 15% just a few days ago, and I do expect higher levels on Acropolis. All the altcoins are doing great, guys. Make sure to protect the positions and take some profit. It's been absolutely wonderful couple of weeks with altcoins, with Bitcoin, Ethereum, making insane profits. If you are new to the channel, don't worry. Make sure to subscribe, because there's more to come. I post every single day. This is just a weekend overview of the altcoins, guys. They're exploding, and we just need to be happy. Now we just need to be cautious and defensive, as Bitcoin could be losing a little bit of steam as we are getting closer and closer here to the big major resistance zone. Of course, I do expect those altcoins to continue to the upside. It's been absolutely wonderful, guys. We've been talking about altcoins during the last few weeks to have explosive breakouts. If you have been following through, you are in massive profits. Leave me a comment down below. Which altcoins have you been longing? We've been talking about Cadena, ADA, Avalanche, Theta, you name it, guys. There's been dozens of altcoins mentioned on live streams and video updates, and if you've been following through, you've been making an absolute killing. Now remember, I do trade on Bybit and on MEXC, guys, making killing profits, obviously locking profits as well during the way up. Dozens of altcoins here being longed. Check out the links down below and subscribe to the channel for more daily updates on different opportunities. I want to take a moment here to say happy birthday to my granddad. He is 94 today. He was a racer at the TT Racing in the Isle of Man, very famous road racing. You must know it because it's very famous. This is him right over here in the late 50s, driving the super bikes back in the day, guys. Just wanted to say happy birthday to my granddad. He is 94 today. So thank you very much for joining. If you haven't checked out my Bybit tutorial, check it out, guys, to learn how to trade on that platform. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.